Bam! And welcome back. Good morning. This is Douglas Smythe from PhoenixShaving.com, and to my left,
Matt Pisarcik, Razor Emporium.
We are I'd Lather Be Shaving, and today, due to popular demand,
we are covering all things lady shaving, the history of how women started to remove hair and how they continued on to today and how the razors changed over the years.
All this and more on today's episode of I'd Lather Be Shaving.
That's right.
What a hot button episode we have in store for you today, folks.
Hot button.
Check it and see. Matt, what do we got?
Well, I mean, if you really look back at the history, you have shaving occurring from all sorts of cultures, both men and women shaving, but there's always been this kind of underlying history of the way ladies had to take care of their bodies versus the way men had to take care of their bodies. I mean, we can go back to the Egyptians, right? People were tweezing things out.
Left and right.
They're using shells. They're using sharpened obsidian. They're trying to get rid of hair that's unsightly, not beautiful, not the perfect, molded look that you want.
More godlike or hygienic.
Like Venus.
For spiritual reasons, like Venus.
Coming out of the shell.
Aphrodite.
Yeah.
Yes.
But this obtaining of beauty as this ideal.
Unattainable.
Yes.
To some extent.
Well, some may say that an unobtainable goal really has been the fuel of this whole progression of lady shaving, just trying to achieve the perfect body, whether it's from makeup to hair.
But who defines what the perfect body is?
I don't know. I'd say Huxley, his dog. Someone out there defines the beauty.
My dog is pretty cool.
Yeah.
He is a Scientologist, however, but pretty cool nonetheless.
But I mean, so we talked about the Egyptians a little bit, and then you have, up till the Roman Empire, people are using, beeswax, honey, trying to remove hair, pull it out, rip it out,
slap it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh no.
Yeah. And then we can bring it up to modern era where straight razors are coming out, and in the Elizabethan Victorian era, women are doing everything from trimming their hairline, trying to look more like the queen, taking off eyebrows.
Oh man, cat urine.
Well, yeah, they're putting cat urine on their face because the ammonia would take off hair. Yeah.
Also, what else was it? They were putting
the walnut
oil. Yeah, to stunt the growth of hair.
It doesn't come back.
So you see those like Elizabethan era portraits and whatnot with women with huge foreheads.
Well, and so they were in that case. You said who defines the beauty? It's whoever's in power. So in that particular analogy we just used, it sounds like Queen Elizabeth was in power, and so other women wanted to look like her.
Maybe, or maybe she was taking a cue from the French court. So where are these?
What came first, the chicken or the egg? We really will never know. We weren't there.
I'm gonna guess the chicken.
The eggs don't last very long either.
No shelf life.
So bring us up to the modern era. Straight razor shaving was always kind of a dangerous adventure. Most people didn't even want to do it for themselves. They would go to a barber to get straight razor shaved.
People could die.
Yeah.
And would.
Enter the safety razor era. This is the era of shaving that turned into everyone shaving. The razor for all men, all women, everyone. Well.
And boy, did it make money.
Oh, yes.
Lots of money.
Now, Gillette came out with their double ring razor with a double-edged blade. That was 1903. But the first ladies' razor from Gillette didn't come out till
1911?
1915.
Close enough.
With a famous model called the Milady Decollette. Handsomely put up in 24 karat gold. It's the exact same razor head as the men's razor.
But
with a dainty handle and a feminine long neck to give kind of an hourglass appearance.
Now clearly this was designed by a man, because as all women know nowadays that are using double-edged razors, a longer handle is preferred by women.
That's only if you're shaving your legs. If you're shaving your armpit, this has a lot of control.
Sure, so it should have came with two.
But,
or at the time, are you saying that they were only focusing on shaving their armpits?
Armpit shaving came first. Leg shaving came much later, because at the time, fashion didn't even really show off legs, so the need to shave it wasn't even really there, unless you may be a ballet dancer or Lady of the Night. You really didn't need those legs to display, but the armpits with sleeveless dresses, dancing, that was actually the image on the very first Milady ad, was a dancing lady and her arm was up.
What was her legs doing? Were they visible?
They were under a dress, not visible.
Dancing women wore dresses.
But beyond that, so we may look at these razor handles today and say, gosh, these are dainty, but they actually served a very functional purpose.
Oh?
Convenience. This was the size of a compact. So a woman...
This is a compact.
It was a compact. Women didn't necessarily want to have to drag a razor around. They didn't want the big hunky case. So the idea of the kind of the slim profile design, you could tuck it easily into your purse or your whatever,
shaving on the
your travel bag. This was really convenient. And you see
and
that,
it might not, since it does look like a compact at the time, you would never guess it was a razor side.
Women were
need to shave.
Women were also very self-conscious. Now they were being told this by other women, other marketing techniques.
Outside forces.
Right? But they were self-conscious of the idea that they even had hair. Maybe they needed to think that they were just naturally hairless. But the idea of even owning a razor was like, well, that's a man's thing. Yeah, like you actually need a razor because they're also touching up their face.
I don't go to the bathroom.
Well, it doesn't look like you've touched up your face in quite a while, but the mustache area, this was used for that too. But you see this small form factor continuing to be used all the way up to the 30s. So that's 1915. Here we have 15 years later. It's still practically the same razor.
Is that Bakelite?
Yeah, they had 3 different versions, and they had the pink, they had the pearl, and they had a seafoam green.
How did you open that? Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
Again, looks just like a compact. And again, the same exact razor head. This is a new deluxe, and it just has a different handle.
This is Art Deco. This is very nice.
Yeah. So the times were pretty much arm hair shaving. Now underarm hair.
Oh, okay.
Now this also arm hair, says Marissa. This idea of small razors may have been taken a little bit too far, because in that same period of the 30s, you have razors getting as small as like this cutie here, because you needed to have a dainty razor that could really be, talk about a razor that no one would ever see, no one ever know you even owned a razor. This is tiny.
And let it be known, Matt is not referring to this as a cutie. It's actually called a cutie.
Kewtie.
And very Georgia O'Keeffe.
Yeah, this takes a proprietary double-edged blade, and the idea of using this, for a quick touch-up maybe around the mustache area, I could see it, but we think of it now. If you were to use this for leg shaving, this would be ridiculous.
Well, Cary Grant used that in a Hitchcock film.
Does he?
Yeah.
Thank you, Porter.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night now.
Good night.
Classic scene.
Interesting. I have another really, really cool set from this time period. Now, this wasn't specifically marketed towards women. In fact, this was usually for very aristocratic men. But this was made by the Tiffany company. And this is a sterling silver travel box. And again, a travel handle that's telescopic. It's also sterling silver.
Ooh.
Yeah, it doesn't really function very much anymore.
And it looks a lot like a Zippo.
Looks a lot like a Zippo, but wouldn't you want to have that in your travel bag?
With a Zippo.
Here's another really crazy small double-edged razor. I don't think it's a cutie, but it
looks a lot like the cutie.
Yeah, it has a pearl.
In fact, I'm willing to bet.
It could have been the same company. Maybe it's the deluxe model. I don't know. There's no brand on this one.
Oh, this actually looks like a Laresh.
Yeah, it's really cool. Look at that.
You see that it has a skull up top.
Mother of pearl.
But look at the handle design. Very similar.
Yeah.
They were definitely going for the same audience, but this has a skull. I've never seen that before. Outside of the Laresh, which makes me wonder what came first.
One of the last ladies' razors that had this small form factor handle was actually this 1941, 1940. I think at Christmas 1940, so it was obviously sold into 1941 as well. This is the Milady, and it was the only butterfly razor to feature that short handle like that. So still kind of taking the cue from the original 1915. This is 25 years later, and it's practically still the same size handle.
This would make a great travel razor.
Yeah,
guys.
Well, a lot of guys run into that, and again, some people say, "Gosh, can I use a men's razor or can I use a ladies' razor?" Like, I know a lot of guys who love using these razors.
I know a lot of guys who didn't realize they were lady razors.
Yeah, they just thought they're kind of 60s starburst.
Yeah.
There's no shame in that. I think you should use whatever razor you want. I don't think
we don't judge here.
Yeah. I think if you like the handle, like the style, like the performance, use it.
As long as you get a good shave, that's all we care about.
So one of the most famous Gillette razors, now this came out 20 years later. So here's 1940. This is closer to 1960, 1963.
Which is very clear in the design.
Yeah, well, at this time in society and culture, ladies were now, you know, again, their outfits changed. Shorts are in, short skirts, mini skirts, bikinis. Women now need the razor to perform a different function, and that is not just underarm, but leg shaving.
Which pretty much started
legs
during the war effort. That comes out of because they were no longer able to pick up nylons.
Yep, that's true. Nylons were hard to come by, so the need to kind of hide those hair went away, and so
yeah, they were encouraged to shave their legs. They actually had paint too. They had this like dye that women could put on their legs to make it look like they were wearing nylons, or some would actually draw the little stitching behind their ankles and calves and whatnot to give the impression that they were wearing nylons when in fact they weren't.
Right. Now, I see you have an instruction booklet. I only have my warranty card and the original unsealed blades, but yours are broken open, so let's read those.
Well, yeah, no, so this is great. This comes out of the Boston factory. But as you can see,
yeah, I mean, she's
instructions
wearing
for the Lady Gillette.
But what she's wearing is the best on that ad.
Oh yeah, she's got the slippers.
Yeah, because of course you're going to be shaving your legs in slippers.
Yeah, right after you. Well,
what does it say? I have to read the copy. Created expressly for particular women, the Lady Gillette was one of the most essential aids to fastidious grooming. Properly used and cared for, it will shave closer, cleaner, and more comfortably than any other shaving instrument, leaving legs and underarms sleek and silken smooth.
Follow these simple directions, and your Lady Gillette razor will give you a lifetime of smooth, refreshing shaving comfort.
And they're using the foamy.
And they're using foamy too. Look at that. Which I think foamy is more. Did it come out? Did foamy come out around this time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah.
But that's what I got. Now, today, we do have some of these makers kind of throwing back this look of the 1960s Lady Gillette. So this is a modern razor from Edwin Jagger, and they just launched this recently, and it does
2 years ago.
Yeah, it does have a longer handle than the men's razor. The men's, well, it doesn't have a gender. It's just a metal razor, but they did have a couple different color options for people who want to grab these.
Nicely done.
Nicely done.
I too, as a razor maker, put out a woman's model. It's red, but I mean,
hey,
it could be unisex.
I would love to use a red razor.
Red razor, red razor. But yeah, so it is at the back of our minds. We do want to appeal to a female audience because, well, it is one of the better ways to shave, I think. But I mean, the audience really isn't there yet. So I think this is kind of. I mean, is it working?
In this time period, I mean, it kind of was, but honestly, a lot of other techniques started coming out. There was Lady electric razors, diapilators were coming out. Nair was coming out. Chemical treatments to take off hair. Waxing. So you have, I mean, so shaving's always been there, but I think it's turned more into just something that's done in the shower. Not even with shaving cream half the time. I know most women use like hair conditioner.
Really?
Yeah.
How many women do you know?
I know Marissa, and I know my wife. Those are the two women I know, and both use conditioner.
Is this true, Marissa?
I actually haven't been shaving my legs for the last 6 months.
But when you did you use hair conditioner?
Yes.
Well, there you go.
I stand correct.
But yeah, no, most women do shave in the tub or in the shower.
Yeah, it's just, I don't even see, men, we had this whole ritual. It's like this thing we do. It's like our grooming, primping time. I think women have so much other grooming, primping to even think about that the shaving's just more of like, get it done.
I totally agree, and I think another reason you don't see a lot of ladies wet shavers right now is that they don't have the same skin problems that men do because they're forced to shave their faces, some people every single day, and so those problems start compounding and they have ingrown hairs, and women can just let their hair grow out for a couple of days and they don't have the same sensitivity, they don't have the same coarseness as a guy would be. So they're just not out there trying to find solutions to problems that don't exist.
And in all actuality, the reason why those problems don't exist also is because they're shaving in the shower, which is probably one of the better places to shave. At the end of the day,
a lot of lubrication.
I shave in the shower.
Well, I mean, if the idea of a shaving soap is to suspend water and keep it on your skin, if you just have running water over the area, it's pretty good.
You know, so you can either shower shave or not. But I mean, that's why I recommend to most guys that you prep in the shower before you go to the sink and do your shave if you're going to do it that way.
And when women, you want to shave everything at the same time. You don't want to enjoy shaving your legs, then have to go do the burden of personal areas and armpits. So it's really difficult to be shaving private areas and not get all that hair off as soon as it comes off.
Yeah.
So you want to do it all at the same time.
All in one foul swoop, so
Yeah.
to speak.
Right. So one other interesting things about this era of razors is that these 1960s Gillettes actually came in 3 different colors. We have the blue, we have pink, and we have champagne.
Champagne.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow.
Now, out of these, take a wild guess which one is the most common and which one's the hardest to find, Doug.
Blue is the most common.
Correct?
The hardest to find is the champagne.
Correct. I don't know why. I think the champagne came out later towards the end of that product life, whereas I think the blue was made almost the entire time.
I believe that, because that's,
Yeah.
I mean, clearly it's the one I can find the most. Although I do have 2 champagnes. To be honest, these aren't mine, these are Fran's.
Ah,
Yeah,
well.
she's a collector too. Including this one.
Well, I want to be
Curve
honest, and this is mine, and I've used it, and I loved it.
Anyways, what can you tell me about curve fit, Matt?
Well, I mean, obviously the title kind of says it all, and beyond that, the picture. We got a very, very Art Deco looking woman, and again, she looks like a dancer or a flapper. That's that same era. She's got her hair up, which was also fashion correct.
Burlesque dancer.
Yeah, she could be a dancer, but she is holding her armpit up just like this and underarm shaving. Again, that's why a lot of these razors were made for that.
And that's why it's curved. Now I wonder, Marissa, what do you think? Would that make a difference, that curve shape?
That looks terrifying.
Well, and check this out. Look at their catchphrase. Every woman tells another.
That's what they wanted you to do.
Yes, let's look at the directions. Use thumb and forefinger to open and close. Do not try to open with one finger. Don't try to open with one finger. Place one end of blade beneath 2 clips. Lay the other end of blade. Da, 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 da. Curve Fit Deluxe. Shaving cream. Antiseptic. Softens the hair. Made in USA. New York City.
And that's the blade.
That's crazy. It looks like just like a piece of shrapnel.
It looks just like a piece of shrapnel. And that would slide in here.
And the whole idea is it's supposed to kind of conform to the nape of the underarm, like the curvature, I guess.
Natural curvature of the woman's
curvature.
underarm. And look at that. So it's almost spring action too, the way it fits in there.
It does look a little scary, but I mean...
I always thought this would work good for head shaving. Just because the curve, but maybe the curve would have to be in this way.
Yeah.
Fit the dome, but I don't know. That's just what I would think. But yeah, again, short handle.
Short handle.
Art Deco.
Art Deco.
And
armpit, baby.
Armpit. So, curve fit. That's another one you'll see often. You know, guys will post this in the forum. Check out what I just picked up. And they don't often find the box. So they don't know what this is about.
Right.
And it's always laughable. And we're like, yeah, that's a lady's razor for their arm. You know. But so,
hey, if you want to use it, we encourage you to. And that goes for all of this. We think all these razors, I mean, if you have a 1915, use it. Doesn't it? Just because it's a ladies' razor.
Great travel.
Yeah.
Or it's also just a great part of the collection.
Exactly. Exactly.
We're equal opportunists here.
Always equal.
Always opportunists.
So, what else we got? I mean, all this talk about ladies' razors and all the different areas.
Well, it's tough, you know, as a man talking about stuff like this without really experierncing any of it.
I think we may need to experience this.
we may need to wear dresses.
Well,
Is that what you mean?
I know you already do at night, but I would love nothing more than to shave my legs.
You heard it here first. Well, folks, we're about to make some shaving history here. We're really trying to get into the mind of our
Yeah,
subjects.
man, how many times do you hear from a woman, you just don't know what it's like? Well,
But you think you do. And you
we're
try.
ready to really know what it's like.
Yeah.
'Cause we're going to do it.
We want an opinion on this situation.
An actual opinion that's based off of a reality.
We want an educated opinion.
Yes.
We're going that extra mile today.
That's how far I'm willing to go.
Matt will be shaving his legs. Before you apply that, however, I have a tip.
Pre-shave.
Well, I do have a pre-shave tip, but I also have a tip for if there are any women watching. You know, as a guy, we often get the hot towel treatment in barbershops. Some of us do it on our own. Yeah. And I thought, hey, why are we leaving women out here? So I've concocted this tip, and which actually works quite well, and Fran's used this. But you get an old sock from your dad.
Hopefully it wasn't too old.
Your husband or
Is that a
boyfriend.
leather apron you're wearing? What the
Compensation. Anyways, so you cut off the top, the toes. So you've created this tube, and you put it in hot water.
Did you put some goodness in there?
I did. This is eucalyptus oil. Ooh. A few drops of this. This also gives it a little tingling sensation. It's really nice, almost spa treatment.
I like
that. In hot water, as hot as you can get it and use it and be able to squeeze it out at the same time because you don't want too much water on there. But, okay, Matt, demonstrate.
Let's try it.
You slide this over
I'm willing to try anything.
this area to be shaved. And again, when it comes to shaving hair, it's really about water and hydrating the hairs. And they need about a good 3 minutes of water,
I feel
direct
like a
water.
ballerina.
And yes, but it's very soothing with the hot water. But you can also use cold water too. The main thing is keeping the water right there.
I feel like I
The
could.
temperature good?
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like I could jog an extra couple miles. Like it's a compression sock.
It's like a hug.
It is like a hug, or like
Yeah.
a thunder jacket.
I don't know what that is, but I'm interested.
That's what's scary.
Is that what I'm wearing right now?
Yeah, you're kind of wearing your thunder jacket. Like when you're scared of
It's
something,
leather.
you put it on. Usually it's for dogs and other animals. But you know.
Come see, come saw. Regardless, so typically Matt would keep that on for about 3 minutes, but he's going to remove that now for
We'll
the
pretend
sake
the
of
clock
time.
went. Hey, look, my foot's prepared.
Now we're gonna give Matt some options here. I recommend using a pre-shave soap, ladies. This one happens to be mentholated. It's gonna give you a little tingle.
Ah, I like a tingle.
Okay. All over the area to be shaved.
Yeah, let's do it.
Great thing about this pre-shave is also add a lather boost to whatever soap you choose to use.
You know, some may say that women actually have a privilege of shaving their legs because they get to enjoy wet shaving even more. I mean, how many times have you heard guys say, I wish I could shave even more?
I never thought of it like that. You know, not only is this process softening Matt's hair, it's also softening Matt.
Yeah, it's really turning me into more in touch with my feelings.
And other things. I'm gonna rinse this off because I'm gonna use the same thing.
But
So-
seriously, I there are times where I wish I could shave more. I'm trying a new, cream, or the blade's just cutting perfect. I'm like, man, I want to go over it again and again and again.
You just want to shave more than once a day. I
Seriously.
do, but I just take the blade out. That's not true. Okay, what I'm going to be doing is using the curve fit to shave my underarms. Not looking forward to this, especially this time of year being summer. But what I've done is I've removed the curve fit blade and replaced it with a halfie of a DE blade. Now I kind of eyed this, so I don't know what the what the exposure is going to be on that blade. It looks pretty dangerous, however. I'm using a Bolzano blade. I've got my lather good to go and my pre-shave soap. So I'm going to hit up my armpit with mentholated soap.
Smells so much better now.
Oh my god.
I'll tell you this. I just lathered up, and this is a blast. I'm serious. It feels great. It's like silky and
Could
smooth.
this be a new thing?
I feel like I'm painting. Like when you're on your face, you have these little tiny mini strokes. Like this, I'm like, ah.
God, the stuff we do.
Square footage. There's so much more area here.
Yeah, there's a lot of
I have heard that ladies have so much more, area they have to cover. Maybe that's why it becomes monotonous. Maybe the novelty of only shaving your face makes it fun. But if you had to shave all of this area, not so much fun.
Did you say monogamy?
I said monotony.
Okay, here we go, folks.
Here we go.
Pray for me. Oh, wow.
Hey, that's kind of nice.
Well, we're sharing this.
So one thing I actually wanted to also dispel about these short handles. I almost wanted to use a short handle on my leg.
Wow, this is really coming off. So there you go, folks. You really can use a half blade to replace the original curve fit blade if you are ever thinking of shaving your armpit.
I never knew I had freckles down there.
I never knew I had freckles on it. Is that a skin tag?
That's kind of funky. But hey, look at all these freckles down here, and it's super smooth.
BBS, would you say?
Oh,
Or
I
DFS?
would say BBS for sure. Now, I've also seen ladies only do one pass, and I'm not exactly sure. For a resident lady, Marissa, why do ladies only do one pass?
Because the products they use
Hey,
are
hold on.
freaking
Hold
expensive.
on.
Let's
Don't
talk about the
speak
pink
for
tags.
Marissa.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
I want Marissa to be, vocal.
I would love to talk about the pink tags after, but honestly, one pass is all you need. Your hair is not as coarse, and if you spend the extra time with a pre-shave, really lifting the hair, you don't need to go over it 8 million different ways.
Oh,
I
should I
do
do
find
that
on
one?
my calves, though, my hair kind of grows in different ways, so I try and do a blade buffing stroke, and then I'll go the opposite way just to make sure. But you don't really need to do all that surface area again.
Now,
I,
against the grain.
I will say, this longer handle is really aiding in my ability to reach my legs, not just because of the length, because I'm kind of in a sitting position, but this little ball end is great. I'm almost just kind of holding on to the ball end, and it's forcing me to allow the razor's weight to do the work. So this device looks like it's perfectly engineered to do this job.
I would have to say the same thing about the curve fit aside from what you just said, but it really is doing the job quite nicely. Now, as a woman, do you find that you sweat more since you're shaving your underarms?
I don't notice a difference in sweat, but I do know that when I let my underarm hair grow, which I have for months before, because why not? You know, I get to choose what I shave and what I don't shave, and I chose to not shave my armpits for a while.
Preach it!
I find that actually I started shaving my armpits again because I was finding that I had to shower more often because I started smelling. Like, it's so much harder. There's so much more surface area when you have hairs there, keeping the moisture and the musty kind of smell in, that I stopped doing it just because I didn't want to have to shower as often. But I never found that I sweat more. It sucks because you do have that itchy phase in like day 2 to 3.
Oh, I have a mole.
I heard you shaved your underarms because you started dancing again. Salsa.
Like the forbidden dance?
No, salsa dancing.
Oh, okay.
I think I originally started shaving again because I was going on a boat trip with my boyfriend's family, and I didn't want them thinking I was an ape or that I was this like wild woman, so I just chose to shave again. But my legs, that's my thing right now.
Okay.
So would you say that women are shaving areas because of societal pressure? In this case, your boyfriend's family. You didn't want to have the embarrassment of underarm hair?
I think a lot of women don't know that they have a choice, that they would be sort of outcasts if they didn't shave their legs, or they chose not to shave their armpits, or they embraced their little mustaches. I think that honestly people just don't think about the choice that they have. But I still feel pressure. I notice that when I'm walking around and someone gets a glance at my legs, it's this ridiculous pressure that I feel, and that's why I continue to do it. Because until I don't feel like that...
Societal pressures.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be excited to experience maybe a fraction of that, just because now people look at my legs and be like, man, why are your legs shaved? I'm like, why aren't they shaven? It feels great.
Well, you know,
It does feel great.
That. You will notice that when you're like, people will glance at you and they don't say anything, they're not rude about it, but the fact that they're noticing that you're different than other people, you've chosen to do something different with your body, I think no matter what you're doing, hair color, face,
tattoos,
face tattoos.
Well, you know, when tattoos are like become like the everyday norm, is it truly self-expression anymore, or is it also, you know, surrendering to societal pressures within your tribe?
I know when I got my face tattoo.
That was henna, and that was a horrible idea.
Yeah,
and very embarrassing.
I did like a Mike Tyson like henna tattoo. I got a lot of looks.
He did, and still does.
But you know what? The most important thing is to never listen to society and do things your own way.
Well, you know, I mean, you're shaving your legs like it's a strange thing for a man to do, but there are men who do shave their legs. They
Swimmers,
runners,
bikers,
cyclists, not bikers, or maybe bikers. I am
Wait,
wearing leather.
What biker don't you know that shaves their legs?
Bikers, don't hurt me.
I actually think I'm only going to shave half my leg for maximum scare factor. If you see me from the outside, you'll be like, "Oh, it's just a normal guy." Inside, whoa!
Must be a biker.
What's wrong with that biker?
You know, now, folks, I know some women will slap on after the bath, after shaving, some powder,
How'd this turn out?
some lotion.
You missed a lot.
I did miss a little. There's only so much I'm willing to go. But so I'm almost tempted to slap on some talc, which brings me to talc. Now, this is a vintage tin of talc, and I get questions all the time like, "Can I still use it?" And I'm a little weary to recommend it. I mean, if no water's gotten into this in the past, you could theoretically use it. However, talc back in the day, up until about 1973, could have been cross-contaminated with asbestos.
Wow.
And then there's some recent studies as well that, you know, people breathe this in.
Respiratory issues.
But talc in itself is a mineral. It's been around for hundreds and hundreds. It's been around forever. So I don't necessarily recommend you use some old school talc, though you might keep it on hand. I do recommend you use some new school talc if you're going to do that. This is some basil and red sandalwood by the company Boutique, which is an Ayurvedic company, not a sponsor. But this is what I use, and
It's sweaty in here.
but there are talc-free powders out there now. So I hope that answers some questions about that. So I will slap on
I
some
would
talc
love to
because it is kind of
slap something on. Here's the big reveal right here.
some heels,
Hold
some
on.
stilettos.
Hold on, can you see the?
That'll be our next episode.
Can you see the 50-50? Like, there's just a lot. Look at that.
That is smooth. You want some talc?
I do. I mean, it feels kind of nice.
It looks just
nice.
like you just had an operation.
I'm gonna start itching in about 2 minutes.
You didn't tell us about the itching part. So what else can you tell us, Marissa? What did
That's the look I'm going for.
do you
If I
think
just get done with an
we're
operation.
a little bit closer to getting in touch with our feminine side? I am half woman. My mom was a woman.
Yeah.
But Can you give us some insight here? So you say that's going to start itching very soon. What else should we expect?
Expect a texture difference. I know that a lot of girls started shaving when they were young, and then now they have beastly coarse hair. And I think that you'll find that that will grow in just a little, and not that it'll grow in thicker or darker or anything crazy, but just the fact that you cut the hair off in a flat way rather than ripping it out by the roots and letting it grow in with a diagonal or like a pyramid little arrow through the skin, you will feel a texture difference in that hair.
That happens with animals too. Dogs, if they get sheared certain ways, that it grows back. Some of you know what I'm talking about.
But the idea of it coming in thicker, fuller, darker, it's not like a wives' tale. Yeah.
Same thing with the whole wiry thing. Like it's the same size as a copper wire when you're cutting your hair, which may be true.
Facial hair.
When it's dry though, when you're wetting it, you're softening it 30% too. So
well, usually before I cut copper wire, I soften it.
So how did the sock treatment? Did you like that?
Yeah, it was nice.
Ladies, if you think I'm onto something or on something, please leave a comment below.
Well, you know, you definitely are on something for wearing that apron.
Dude, come on. What could be more manly than shaving your armpit in a leather apron? I feel like I should be like making swords and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sword in the hone. Anyways, thank you for joining us this weekend on a real eye-opening episode of I'd Lather Be Shaving. If you'd like to enter this week's contest to win, yet again,
I can't stop touching my legs.
A shave soap and aftershave, maybe not this particular one, unless you want one that's been used, leave a comment below, like, and subscribe if you don't already. Also,
hold on! We didn't talk about the pink tax, Doug.
Ooh, the pink tax. Real quick, pink tax. Women, you've been paying higher prices for far too long. To a certain extent, you are a victim!
And in certain extents, you have a choice. The choice to go around the corner and buy men's products. There's nothing fancy about women's products. There's chamomile, aloes, green teas.
That's even men's stuff. What Matt's saying is, women's products, they may be the same as men's half the time.
You could be paying more.
They're up in the price.
So
they call it the pink tax.
So be smart.
Google it.
Buy men's stuff.
Shop smart.
Show those big companies you're not going to buy a pink
smart.
razor. Buy a metal razor.
Yes.
Yeah, they're all the same.
If you enjoy what we're doing here and like to support the show, please pick up one of our official I'd Lather Be Shaving mugs, which contain an exclusive Pineapple Bay shaving soap. 2 ounces of awesome. And that's it. High five.
Proud of you guys.
Peace out.
Have a good one. We'll see you next time.
I'm gonna go smoke a cigar and make love to my wife.
Huxley.
Huxley. It's my dog. Scientologist.